Thanks so much for sitting with me today, everybody. Thank you online. I was on mute for part of that, so everybody who stayed is a real trooper. I appreciate you all coming out. Nice summer day. It's always fun. I feel like we always have a bunch of visitors during the summer and nice little intimate groups. And today I was thinking, it's still Pride Month, and I was thinking about, sort of some of the things that we think are new that aren't so new at all, or some of the things we forget are old. And in meditation or Buddhism specifically, welcome, come on in. The practice of changing one's name has always kind of existed. I think about, I do a lot of work with kids too, and sometimes parents and kids, and being somebody who's queer and trans, sometimes I get called to like counsel a family or do grief work or things like that, or just sit with meditation with families. And one thing that I notice is very hard for parents or elders is like the shock of like, oh, but I've called them this name my whole life. How can I switch it? Or, this all seems so new. It seems like it's happening all of a sudden. And I think back to the founder of Jodo Shinshu, this lineage of Buddhism, Shinran, had 7 names. Every, 10 or so years, he would kind of level up into, he would think like a new way of being, or he'd train with a new person and get a new name. And that kind of practice, one of his names was Gutoku, which is the kind of stubble-headed one. And so he felt when he stopped being like an official monk up on the mountains and he was coming down and starting to bring Buddhism to like the people in the villages, which is kind of his story, he called himself that as saying like he's not, clean shaven, he's not this kind of, perfect monk anymore, but he's not a monk either. So he's just this kind of stubble-headed fool who's trying his hardest, but finding a new way. Or if we go back even farther, the Buddha has not even just different names, but different like versions of forms. But there are different ways that people have taken on names in the past that is a way of honoring the kind of continual evolution that we all are. No matter how we identify or who we are, where we've come from, every day a whole new us is born. My cells are changing, my blood is changing, the taste in my mouth, the food in my guts is changing. My thoughts, my state of mind. There is this form that's, keeping me anchored here for a while. In the grand scheme of things, not so long, but, I'm here in this body. I recognize that and I can honor that. But I can also honor the fact that that doesn't have to be so limited. I don't have to let my view of myself get stagnant or hold the me of right now to the needs of the me yesterday or the projected needs of me tomorrow. Right? I think a lot of times we'll get into some kind of scarcity mindsets when we get anxious about the future, when really tending to right now can build a different trust within ourselves, I think, and allow us to face kind of what's happening right in front of us a little more honestly. And so thinking of names, I recently got a new name, a new Buddhist name. Homyo is the name that you get for various different reasons, but when I was having my minister's assistant ceremony, I got like new robes and a new name. And this one is Ten Chiku. Ten being the character for to change or move through, transform, and Chiku being the character for bamboo, also pronounced take if you speak Japanese. Um, and this is the second Buddhist name I've had. I've been practicing for a very long time. Well, for me, a long time, 2/3 of my life at least, 20 or so years. And having a new name is such an interesting experience. I think that I've changed my name personally. Eli's not the first name I ever had, but going when you get like a Buddhist name, sometimes it's picked based on what people know about you. Your teacher gets to know you, but rather than thinking of it as a description, like I'm this, bamboo is signified of like flexible strength, and to change or transform means to completely evolve. And that's not to say, I'm perfect like the bamboo in the forest, that I'm always changing and evolving in the best way. But it's more of an aspiration to cultivate the qualities that are in that name, to give yourself a state of being that you wish to attain and then work towards it. And so, kind of a real workaround of a pride talk, but it felt linked and I really liked it to just think about names today and think about the fact that yes, we get called something, but that's not all we are. We're so much more than what people call us or what we ask people to call us even. And under that expanse, we can settle into, hopefully, or have the chance to settle into our more interconnected way of being. The parts of us that are not so limited into the boxes that we've grown up thinking they're limited into. So just an invitation to maybe let go of one version of the way you think something is this week, or just look to see, is there something I'm boxing in my life, even just about myself? Do I think I can't do something? Do I think I shouldn't do something that I really feel pulled or driven to do? Do I think I don't deserve the love or care around me? Am I not asking for help? And maybe just re-examine, where's that come from for me? Maybe I do deserve the help. Maybe I do deserve the love. Maybe I do deserve to change or to stay the same, to do whatever I need to at my own pace. So that's my talk for today. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you, everybody online.